I did not remove my piece from the chuck after I did my turning operation. And that's going to ensure that the drilling operation is going to be concentric with the outside surface of my cylinder here. So now what I want to do is I want to insert my drill chuck into the tailstock. So I have a Jacob's chuck with a Morse taper on the end that's going to fit inside this tailstock, which I can then use to hold a drill bit and push into my turning workpiece. I've moved the carriage all the way as far as I can to the left. I also removed the tools post so you guys can get a clear line of sight. However, usually you want to move the tool post as far back as you can and away because the tailstock can only reach so far. So in order for it to reach your workpiece easily, you want to move the carriage as far away as you can, and you want to make sure that your tool post isn't going to collide with the 3-jaw chuck as soon as you turn on the machine, because there's nothing preventing you from ramming the carriage into the chuck other than the carriage itself won't ram into the chuck, but if you have a tool post and you have a tool in the tool post, the tool can easily run into the chuck. The only thing stopping it is you. So you have to be sure that you're always far enough away from the chuck before you turn on the machine. Now, because I am drilling into metal, I am going to want to use the center drill. So same as we did for the mill and drill press. This is going to be very, very similar, not much changes. Again, use the chuck key to tighten it down. And I'm going to turn on the machine, recalculate my speed, because now I have a tool with an actual diameter. So before, my workpiece was what I was using as a diameter to calculate my speed. Now, however, I'm using a drill bit, which does have a diameter, and I am cutting with its own circumference or its own surface. Therefore, I need to use this diameter in my calculations. So I need to adjust the speed, position myself, and get ready for the drilling operation. So same as previously, I'm going to turn the machine on and I'm going to go in a pecking motion until I reach the tapered section of the center drill, and then I'm going to retract, switch my drill bit to the final diameter, and drill the final hole. So touch the surface, plunge, touch the surface, plunge, retract, touch the surface, plunge, retract, until the beginning of my taper starts going into my workpiece. So I have my new drill bit in, I'm ready to do the final diameter. One thing I want to mention is that the tailstock is independent from the carriage. So the DROs are not going to be of any use for us during this operation. So if, per se, I wanted to control the exact distance that I drill into my workpiece. So it's not a hole that's going to go all the way through my workpiece. I want to drill exactly 1 inch into my workpiece. On the quill inside the tailstock, there are graduations like a ruler. So you would use those to control your depth of cut. Or in this case, the depth of plunging with the drill bit. So I'm going to turn the machine on and I'm going to do some peck drilling. What tends to happen on the lathe is that as you're drilling, as you go more and more deep into the workpiece, your chips tend to get stuck and they don't want to come out. So what you're going to end up doing is having to back out completely, and that way the chips can evacuate from the hole before plunging back in to keep going. So I move forward, touch the surface, plunge, retract. So every once in a while I'm going to retract, and the trick is when you see the chips not come out of the hole, that's when you know the hole is starting to get clogged. So you're going to want to back out completely in order to clear that debris. So I'm still seeing a flow of chips coming out of the hole, so I don't think I'm clogged just yet. I can continue in my pecking motion. Seems that I've been lucky today, so no clogging on my part. But basically, if ever you notice that the chips stop coming out of the hole while you're drilling, you just want to back out completely, come out of your workpiece, make sure you get all the chips off your drill bit, and then you can go back in to continue drilling your workpiece.